right by the bathroom, right up the hallway, and right to the principal's office. And he goes up and he knocks on the door. And the principal kind of like, says, "Come on in," like, and then he looks and he's like, "Oh, Jimmy, I didn't really expect you to be here," because it wasn't the biggest school. And the principal kind of knew, he kind of knew the people, right? He had some good, he made an effort to make conversations with people. And he also knew, like, who, frequently was sent to the principal's office. And Jimmy was not one of these kids. He just wasn't, right? So he's like, "Oh, Jimmy, like, why are you here? Like, I don't normally see you here." I think the principal assumed that, like, Jimmy got in trouble or something, and he's just not used to that. And Jimmy says, I don't really know how to explain this, so I'm just going to tell you everything. And I'm not gonna, I just told you guys everything, right? I'm not gonna tell you it all again. Jimmy basically just tells you the story that I just told you guys, right? And the principal, his face, like, throughout the entire story, it just got, like, from, like, some kind of, like, a nice, like, kind of, like, smile, friendly, whatever, to, like, a straight face, to, like, do you know that Mr. Incredible meme where his face just gets, like, darker and darker and just, like, more and more just, like he's seen something terrible, like, again and again, it got worse and worse. So basically, the principal's face started out, like, on the left, and by the end of the story, it was, like, the face on the right, basically. And, then Jimmy eventually finishes his story. He's like, "And then I decided to, obviously not go to the bathroom, man. Like, I don't even have to go pee. Like, I couldn't even go if I wanted to, right? But instead, I decided to come see you. And that's where we are now." And the principal just looks at him. He's like, "We're going to your classroom right now. You're coming with me." So they get back to the classroom, right? They're walking down the hallway. Jimmy is, like, kind of, like, falling behind a little bit. This principal's a big guy, and he's having a very, very firm pace. So Jimmy has to even jog a little bit, man. Like, he's trying to catch up. They get to the classroom, and it's just a bunch of kids sitting there, and there's no substitute teacher to be found. And the principal's like, "Yo, Jimmy, like, why is no one here?" And Jimmy's like, "What?" And the class is like, "Yeah, the substitute teacher actually just left." And some kid in the class, let's call him Arthur, right? He was kind of a bit of a quiet kid. He also had a side business of selling illegal test answers. He was actually a criminal warlord. Anyways, right? So Arthur, right? This kid. He didn't do any of that, by the way. But anyways, right? He pipes up and he says, "Yeah, on the way, she just, like, got up and said, 'Bye, kids.' Like, by the way, not even a substitute, lol." And then she just left. I don't know if she said, like, lol, but that'd be pretty funny if she did. And the principal's face was like, "She said what?" And he checks his phone and he opens up his email and he's like, "I gotta go. Class dismissed early." And everyone's like, "Yay, class is out." But it was only like 5 minutes early or whatever, right? And, Jimmy's just confused at this point. So I'm not totally sure how Jimmy figured this out, but later on, like a couple days later, I don't think a week later, but at least a couple days later, right? He figures out that, or he learned somehow, I think, like, maybe it got leaked to a parent and then his mom told him, or somehow so please text the group chat if he starts asking us questions, or for some reason, I just gotta be back, man. But, I'm gonna take advantage of, the blessed opportunity I've been given by this movie being played and just go and, like, I'm just gonna go mess around for a little bit. Like, I'll see you guys around, guys. And everyone was all, in this group me was all just like, feeling very good, just having a very nice, cordial time. But then someone in the group me was like, "LOL, like, Mr. Savage, he didn't mute his mic. Ahaha, let's hope nothing weird happens." That kid jinxed it. I really hope they went and beat up that kid. I'm joking. I am joking. But, yeah, that kid jinxed it. It's 100% his fault, actually. Like, if we're putting blame on anyone, don't put it on poor Mr. Savage. He doesn't know, he can't, like, decipher the difference between a rock and a computer. It's not his fault, man. It's this kid. It's this kid for setting him up. Anyways, things are pretty normal, right? And, Jimmy, the subscriber, I really hope I named him Jimmy earlier on, because I have in my notes that I'm going to call the subscriber Jimmy. So if I didn't, His name is Jimmy now. Get over it. Get over yourself. Like, just deal with it is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, right, Jimmy, the subscriber, the guy who sent this in, you can send this. You can send in stories to my Instagram. It's in the description of the video. Anyways, right, things are pretty normal, but then, he does notice, right? He does notice a little rustling sound, like some movement is coming from Mr. Savage, right? Mr. Savage himself, like just a little rustling, a little movement is coming from, like, you can just hear, like, him moving around. Totally normal, like unlucky he left his mic on, like that's unlucky, right? But he just thought it'd end there, and he's like, Mr. Savage, like, starts, like, if he gets on the phone or something, or I don't know, something embarrassing like that, like, or just a little embarrassing, right? Or maybe it's just the right call to, like, go in and tell him his mic isn't muted. But right now, like, no harm, no foul. Like, dude, it doesn't really matter, right? It is what it is. Like, I don't want to interrupt the movie, because maybe if I interrupt it, maybe, I don't know, he'll start asking me questions, and oh my god, I've not been paying attention. It's only been 7 minutes, but I have not been paying attention. But all of a sudden, right, instead of rustling sounds, because the microphone went mute for a while, right, and the sound of the volume of the movie was, like, took over again, you start hearing the subscriber, Jimmy, is just like, he doesn't really believe what he hears at first, but he starts hearing, like, the sounds of, like, anime or something. He's like, what? And yeah, no, it's like the sounds of anime coming from, Mr. Savage's computer. And then everyone in the group me lights up, man. The group me just goes insane. It's like, Mr. Savage watches anime. That's so funny. Like, I could totally hang with this guy. Like, all this kind of stuff. Because, I mean, anime is cool. I have not gotten into it personally. I think it's cool. Like, I definitely could. If actually, leave your suggestions in the comment section down below, because I might unironically watch something you suggest. Anyways, right, everyone's like, oh, that's so funny, like, like, that's cool. That's cool. Like, Mr. Savage, he's on the cool list now. He gets the thumbs up. He gets the plus. He gets the big, like, yes, he's the cool. Let me just say, it turns south. It goes bad. It goes bad so fast. It was so good for a second. It was so good, man. It was so good. Before I get into the downfall of Mr. Savage, basically, secret word of the day is anime. So if you made it this far into the video, comment anime down below. I'm going to try and heart as many of those as I can, but I just can't get to them all, unfortunately. I do my best, and I really do want to show my appreciation for you guys giving me that wonderful, wonderful watch time, So I'll do my best, but unfortunately no guarantees. It is what it is. But yeah, comment anime down below. And while I have your attention, right, every couple videos I'll shout out a random channel member. So yeah, just to this guy on screen or gal or whoever, right? I appreciate it. Appreciate you being a channel member. If you want to join the channel, you can hit that join button. Also, I just did a whole channel member only ask me anything type thing. I'll do those occasionally. To answer those, you have to be a channel member. I just don't use Discord. That thing's kind of toxic. So it's the closest thing I can do. Anyways, back to the story. Anyway, so at first everyone thinks it's cool. Mr. Savage, right? He watches anime. He's one of them. He's one of the cool kids or whatever. I don't know, man. And they're just all like, haha, that's so funny, right? But here's the thing. This is a very special type of anime. A very, very special type. A type that, because with a lot of anime, right, maybe you can, watch it with a younger brother or sister, or maybe you can watch your parents, maybe you could even have your grandparents join in on the action. Let me just say that, this special type of anime, you probably do not want to watch it with your parents. You probably do not want to watch it with your grandparents. You probably do not want to watch it with your younger siblings, right? It's probably something that if you are going to watch it, you're going to watch it by yourself in a place where no one knows that you're watching this. Do you catch my drift? Do I need to be clearer? I'm trying to be paid for this video. I can't make it. I don't want to be demonetized, please. I can't get any clearer, guys, please. Yeah, let's just call it a very special anime. And you might be thinking, Connor, how would you know, right? How would someone know if it's this very special anime? Let me just say something, right? So while the anime, it was in, probably Japanese or something, right? You can't understand unless you know Japanese, right? If you don't know Japanese, you can't understand what they're saying. But let me just say that there are some sounds that are, just universal, man. You don't need to know the language to know exactly what is going on. These people could be speaking in French, they could be speaking in Japanese, they could be speaking the native language of Kazakhstan for all I care. It doesn't matter, there's some noises that go beyond language. You just don't need. You don't even need to know any language to know what these are. You know, you catch my drift. You catch my drift. And yeah, so that's when everything started going south. The whole group me was like, am I hearing this wrong? Like, oh my god, like no shot. And everyone's like, no, this can't be happening. This honestly can't be happening, dude. This can't be happening to me, of all people. This can't be happening, man. This can't. Everyone's like, what the fuck? What? Oh my, why? What? The whole chat's like, oh my god, do we say something? Like, because at this point, right, his mic's been unmuted for a while. And he's been watching anime, but the anime went south very fast. If you know, you know. Right? And everyone's like, "Oh my, who's gonna say it?" Like, and I was like, "Dude, I'm not saying anything. I'm not gonna be that guy." And everyone's like, "Someone has to be that guy." And the problem was, right, no one wanted to be that guy saying, "Hey, Mr. Savage, right? You're watching Actually, hold up. I don't want to be demonetized. No one wanted to be like, "Hey, Mr. Savage, you're watching some." Very special anime, a very special genre, right? No one wanted to say that, man. That's awkward. But here's the thing, it's even worse every second that goes by. It is even worse every single second that goes by, right? Because the longer they don't say anything, the longer that, you know, when Mr. Savage actually figures out that he forgot to mute his mic because he doesn't know it, he can't tell a computer and a rock apart from each other, right? He's gonna realize that, you know, every second that no one said anything, they were just sitting there listening to what was going on. So every second that goes by, it gets worse. But no one wants to do it. Everyone in the chat's like, dude, I'm not doing it. I'm not saying anything, man. I'm not saying anything. I'm just not going to be that guy, man. I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to say anything. Everyone in the chat is like, okay, someone has to do it, man. Someone has to brave up. Someone has to be like our true king, our true savior, and just really stand up for the common folk over here and just say to Mr. Savage, please mute your mic, dude. Oh my god. And as everyone is just kind of squat.